We got to talk about war, because war is going on. I don't know if you've noticed it in the news, but there's been wars and rumors of wars out there, as I think the Bible might say, in the end times. There are lots of wars and lots of rumors of wars, but Russia, Ukraine, all that stuff. I'm no expert. I never pretend to be, and I don't know as much as a lot of people do, but it turns out I seem to pay attention more than a couple people in the world, so maybe you'll get something out of my talking about it. That say, there's a lot of propaganda all around, left, right, Ukraine, Russia, everyone's propagandizing. The United States is propagandizing. All these people seem to want to go to war. It seems like they really want to destroy all of humanity and all of society and civilization and everything at the very least. But I don't know. Like, it's hard to trust any of them. It's hard to know what's to be afraid of, what's propaganda. But things are happening, so we are going to talk about it, and we are going to talk about some just a sneak peek, or sneak snippet, sneak clue. Something. The after party, we're going to take a look at some anti-woke Russian propaganda, something that they're putting out in Russia that is not very kind to the United States and also not very untrue. So we'll look at that in the after party. Patreon.com/The System's Down. Before that, let's talk about the Crimea Bridge. Running over the Crimea River. We're just going to watch this footage. It's, I think this is just the footage of the bridge blowing up. CCTV video released by the Russian military. Zvezd. Nailed it. News appears to show an explosion on a Crimean bridge. And ba-boom! Some people have said that it is a truck, like a what's it called? Suicide bomber in a truck. Apparently they don't know for sure yet if it was, or the last I knew, they didn't know if it was a truck or if it was something planted or something like that. Probably the most likely thing is that it was a suicide bomber. And the other thing is that it was a Ukrainian suicide bomber. Which is interesting, because I thought they were the very reasonable, rational ones. Like, if you heard about a United States, military man who acted as a suicide bomber just for the purpose of taking out a bridge and inconveniencing somebody else, would you, like, that seems weird, doesn't it? Seems weird. Almost sounds like something Al-Qaeda would do. Not saying, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to watch this from CNN. They had a report on it, and I'm really sick of saying I'm not pro-Russia, not pro-Putin. I'm also not pro-Ukraine. I feel like at this point in the game, it's almost like painful to think that there's still people out there who think that if you're not pro-Ukraine, or if you're not defending Ukraine, starting a giant war, then you must be pro-Putin. If you're not pro-World War III, then you're a Russian asset or something like that. Yeah, but it's hard to be pro-Ukraine. Like, even as if I was somebody who had a Ukrainian flag in my Twitter handle, I would still find some of this a little troubling.
A devastating blow to Vladimir Putin's war effort in Ukraine, both strategically and symbolically. The Kerch Bridge that links Russia's mainland with occupied Crimea on fire and heavily damaged. Moscow's investigative committee acknowledging the severity of the attack.
According to preliminary information, a truck exploded on the automobile part of the Crimean bridge from the side of the Taman Peninsula in the morning today, which caused 7 fuel tanks to ignite on a train heading towards the Crimean Peninsula. As a result, 2 lanes partially collapsed.
This CCTV video appears to show the moment of the blast. A truck is seen driving on the lane leading towards Crimea when all of a sudden there's a massive explosion, though it's not clear whether it is the truck that actually blew up. Russian officials saying several people were killed in the attack. Moscow already pointing the finger at Ukraine, but so far no claim of responsibility from Kiev's leadership. Crimea, the bridge, the beginning. Everything illegal must be destroyed. Everything stolen must be returned to Ukraine. Everything occupied by Russia must be expelled, an advisor to Ukraine's president tweeted.
Yeah, so we're not completely sure if it was them. We don't know. There's no way of knowing who could have possibly bombed this bridge. No, there would be no way of knowing.
While Russian authorities say fuel and food supplies to Crimea are ensured, videos released on social media show long lines forming at gas stations on the peninsula just hours after the blast. The Crimean Bridge is a vital supply artery for Russian forces fighting in Ukraine, but it's also a prestige project for Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin personally drove a truck across the bridge when it was opened in 2018. The attack came just a day after Putin's 70th birthday, leading Ukraine's national security advisor to tweet this video apparently mocking Russia's leader.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I mean, you got to respect the troll a little bit, at least a little bit. It is funny. It is kind of, all's fair in love and war. That's the thing. Like, Ukraine is also at war. Ukraine is doing nasty things as well. Sure, some of it's defense, but as we're going to talk about, they're pushing for offensive. They're pushing for, like, Zelensky is calling. He called and then walked back, basically calling for nuclear war, saying that we should be on the offensive, or the United States and Ukraine should be on the offensive against Putin's nuclear whatever. Meaning that if you're on the offensive, meaning you're striking first, and if you're striking first against a nuclear power, and you're bringing nuclear power into the conversation, what does that mean other than we should be nuking Russia? That is the only way to interpret what Zelensky said, which I don't have pulled up. You can look it up for yourself. Whatever. That's the only way to interpret that. He did walk it back. So in some ways, Zelensky saved us. Potentially, his words could have saved us all from a nuclear war, a World War III that he was calling for. He saved us all by changing his mind. And yeah. They are also, there are many people who are calling for, I kid you not, Volodymyr Zelensky to get a Nobel Peace Prize for his actions so far, as he calls for the literal annihilation of mankind. But here, as they said, this bridge attack, the bridge, I guess, was like a pride and joy of Putin. I did that by showing that he drove on it once. Like, okay. But it was like a pet project of Putin, I guess. I don't know. But so this explosion happened right after Putin's birthday, and then the security something of Ukraine tweeted out this video of a funny birthday, like, what's her name? Is it Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," and the bridge burning right next to it. So yeah, there's no way of knowing who did this, but there might be clues.
Ukraine's postal service was quick to issue a stamp commemorating the bridge explosion. Residents in the capital taking selfies in front of the main post office.
Stamps. Do you know how long it takes typically for something to be memorialized as a stamp? Usually it's like something old and vintage. It was like immediate. They had these stamps ready to go. It's almost like, I don't know, maybe it was planned or something. I'm not saying Ukraine did it. There's really no way of knowing. But stamps immediately went out, and there was a big old mural painted that people were taking their picture in front of, blowing up. But who knows? I don't want to assume.
Front of the main post office.
We have waited for the moment the bridge burns. I think all Ukrainians waited for it. And we are very satisfied it's finally happened.
Moscow says it got the railway section of the bridge up and running again quickly, but the damage to the road section is more extensive, creating another bottleneck for Russian forces in southern Ukraine already struggling with logistics.
Okay. So, there's that. And I'm not, again, I'm not pro Putin, and I'm just not pro Ukraine. And if Putin does something monstrously evil as he has done in this war, I have a problem with that. And also, if Ukraine, hear me out, if Ukraine does something monstrously evil in war on the offensive side, at least, I mean, I'm certainly not condemning Ukraine for defending themselves against Russia. If they're going out of their way to trigger this thing further, even more so, I am certainly not pro-Ukraine either. And bonus, if the United States continues doing things that are monstrously evil, pushing us into a war, I am not pro-United States military, government, whatever, empire either. When monsters make bad calls that leave people dead, I just have a hard time supporting them. Call me old-fashioned. Let's see. Oh, Elon Musk got into it with Ukraine. I think he's trying to be like today's modern day Dennis Rodman, and he's trying to smooth this thing out. And as always, I don't trust Elon Musk, but if somebody does something good, great. We praise them when they are correct, and then hope that they stop doing creepy, shady, evil other things like neural nets and experimenting on monkey or like whatever. I don't know. Yeah, the monkey experiment neural net thing is a little bit concerning. The neural net thing, the robots, the shady business dealings, lots of things. Space being fake and him pretending like it's not, just typical stuff. But Elon Musk, if he is able to, somehow talk us off the edge of nuclear war, then great. Sure. I don't care who does it. I don't care if Putin does it. I don't care if Zelensky does it. We know for a fucking fact that Zelensky ain't interested. But if Elon Musk can do it, great. Please do. Please. And I will think at least a little bit more highly of you. Also, if you want to buy Twitter, I'm here for it. So Elon Musk sends a dire warning about Russia-Ukraine war, and this comes from TheStreet.com, so it's legit. The world's richest man joins President Joe Biden in sounding the alarm over escalating conflict. Now, this, right off the bat, where is Joe Biden really sounding the alarm? I mean, it seems more like Joe Biden is pushing the alarm, or pushing pushing the bad part. And from what I understand in reading this earlier, Elon Musk isn't like actually joining forces with Biden or working with Biden or giving a shit about what Biden thinks. He is just doing something that they're also bringing Joe Biden, like pretending like Joe Biden is doing something in this to de-escalate, which he, from what I've witnessed, is not. So do not bring Joe Biden into this. He is quite the opposite. Elon Musk says he can't fall asleep. The CEO of Tesla, he is currently having sleepless nights. He can't sleep because he's obsessed with a big problem to which he has no answer yet. The end of humanity. He's sad that his robots will never get to overtake and overthrow humanity because we'll all be wiped out before he gets to finish his robot army. The tech tycoon is indeed going through a very difficult period for anyone who wants to transform civilization as it currently is. Musk, whose influence extends beyond tech circles and the business community, sees himself as a global CEO intervening in world affairs. In recent months, he has gone from being a business leader to a world leader capable of shaking the balance on the international stage. Indeed, by providing Ukraine invaded on February 24th by Russia, Starlink, the secure and independent satellite internet access service, is service of its aerospace company SpaceX. The billionaire gave Kiev, whatever, an incomparable weapon, the power of Starlink. Starlink provided a decisive battlefield advantage, said Elon Musk on Twitter on October 9th. Starlink's success in Ukraine is now seen by people living under dictatorship as their window of freedom to the outside world. Recently, Iranians protesting against the Ayatollahs, I know that word, regime to Tehran, appealed to Musk for access to Starlink. Yeah, so this goes into the whole, so Elon Musk's trying to smooth things out, and he's like, I'm freaking out about this stuff. We need to find a way for a peace deal. He did, where is it? Where the whole thing that his plan of de-escalating here. Let me see. There's a rumor that Elon talked to Putin about this stuff. There's a rumor that he's met with the people on both sides. And he has said that he did not talk to Putin before he put out his one tweet that I think is in this article. But the Ukrainian, this one is from CNBC.com, so you know it's legit. Ukrainian ambassador tells Elon Musk to fuck off after billionaire infuriates nation with Twitter poll. So, let's see. Washington. American tech billionaire Elon Musk drew the public ire of Ukrainians' top officials Monday after the Tesla CEO tweeted what he claimed was the most likely outcome of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. F off is my very diplomatic reply to you, Ukraine's outgoing ambassador to Germany, Ardrij Melnyk, wrote in response to Musk's tweet, quote, "The only outcome is that now no Ukrainian will ever buy your fucking Tesla crap, so good luck to you." What did Musk say that triggered him so much? Triggered him into potentially blowing up a bridge. Musk posted a Twitter poll gauging support for what he claimed was a likely outcome of the 7-month conflict. Significantly, one, that Ukrainian territory of Crimea, which Russia annexed by force in 2014, be permanently given to Russia and guaranteed a permanent water supply. So, yes, the Ukrainian territory of Crimea, which Russia annexed, he's calling for that to be given, to be left with Russia. Obviously, you understand why that would be troubling to them. They want it back, or they want it, or whatever. 2, that the 4 regions of eastern Ukraine where Russia held sham referendums last month before illegally annexing the land be put to new referendums, this time organized by the United Nations. 3, that Ukraine should be forced to remain neutral, accomplishing the long-term Kremlin goal of barring Ukraine from joining NATO defensive alliance. Why? Because NATO is not friends with Russia. You see, there's Russia, who's like a big country, not like United States big, just big-ish. And there's a little country, sorry, I'm doing my best Kamala Harris here. There's a little country called Ukraine who's working with a country that's bigger than Russia and moving military operations right up to Russia's border. No matter how many times they said that they would never move one more inch toward Russia, they did and did and did, and here we are. Oh my gosh, who would have thought that Russia would ever retaliate? But they did. So the Twitter poll. So after Elon Musk put out his Twitter poll, what was his Twitter poll again? Twitter poll, what the heck? We've got Zelensky's Twitter poll. Zelensky put out a Twitter poll that said, which Elon Musk do you like more? Zelensky, which is not spelled correctly, is it? There's not 2 Y's in Zelensky, is there? I swear to God, I've seen this name spelled like 25 different ways. Anyway, he put out a poll that says, do you like the Elon Musk that supports Ukraine or the one who supports Russia? So he thinks that if you are not pro Ukraine getting everything that they could, all their little hearts desire, then you are pro Russia. Where have we heard this before? Except everywhere, Twitter, mainstream media, everybody. But they're also very angry at Elon Musk because Ukraine wants Crimea to have Starlink, which Ukraine has access to Starlink. And to my understanding, Russia does not. They're asking, to put it simply, to the best of my stupid understanding, they're asking Elon Musk to make their military defense of Starlink that they're using for that. They want that to be more accessible farther into different areas of Russia. And Elon Musk is like, no, that's not what we're doing here. Like, Elon Musk has to some degree, the ability to de-escalate some things in this, because he can say, you can get your free internet, you can get your Wi-Fi, but you're staying on your side of this thing, and I'm not going to provide internet. I'm not going to give you the free Wi-Fi down at the Russian Starbucks so that you can go in and escalate things even farther. So good on him for that, if that's actually true, and he sticks to that. But if he wanted to de-escalate this farther, there's probably other ways he could. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, good on him for doing what he can. There might be a way of, I don't know, pulling the Starlink back even farther. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Elon Musk is going to save anybody? I don't really ever believe that because I don't trust the guy. But hey, if he is able to like smooth anything out in any way, good on him for it. Now, even more importantly than this war, I know that that's a bad way to set this next thing up, but much more importantly than that, I got kicked off of Twitter this week. And as we all know, that is the worst thing that can happen to an elder millennial in the year 2022. I got kicked off of Twitter because I, according to them, violated their rules against posting media depicting gratuitous gore. That's right. Evil me. I think this is my first time that I've had to delete one, which is surprising. But I got removed. Okay, so the tweet was, it just said, the only thing I said, my only commentary was, something about this seems off, ... And then I had a link to a video where, yes, there was gratuitous gore. There was a mangled corpse in the streets of Ukraine, and there was a trans gal reporting on the mangled corpse, standing over it, it's hard to explain. Just like when I said something about this seems off, what I meant was like everything about this seems off. Primarily, obviously, the corpse laying in the road that you're selfie reporting over seems just a little off to me. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you do it well, even. I don't care if you do it well or if you do it poorly. I don't care if your wig looks like a wig. Fine. Do you. But maybe don't do that. Maybe don't make somebody's dead body your, I don't know. There's just better ways to report. This is shock and awe. And when I shared it, I had a lot of people saying, there were some people that were like, well, obviously the thing that seems off is that's a dude. And I'm like, guys, who cares? Who cares? That has nothing to do with this. I don't know if this individual is trustworthy or anything, or if like there were some people pointing out, oh, that seems like propaganda. It seems like, why are all the firefighters standing around? I don't know. I mean, I can go down the conspiracy rabbit hole better than, or as well, at least, as anybody. I'm down for those conversations. And even that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it seems fake. I mean, some things about this do seem like it could be staged, but I don't know. Just the corpse and the jovial nature of this reporter with a mangled corpse behind her just seems like the big issue here, obviously. And clearly Twitter agreed. And so I was like, I posted this screenshot, and I said, because it says delete a tweet, and it asked me to remove the tweet, blah, blah, blah. And I posted that screenshot and said, like hell I am. I'd rather die than delete a tweet, which is what Jordan Peterson said. And so I put in parentheses in Canadian Kermit the Frog voice, because that's what Jordan Peterson is. It's just true. It's true. Jordan Peterson got deleted from Twitter and he refused to delete a tweet, and he said he'd rather die, which I think is stupid personally, because who cares? It's a tweet, and you have a massive platform, and you can tell people whatever you want somewhere else. It makes more sense for you to have a platform on Twitter than it does for you to take a stand against deleting a stupid tweet. So I just said that as a joke, and then I immediately deleted the tweet because I didn't care. But some people were like, in response to this, somebody was like, oh yeah, I bet I know, like, you got deleted obviously because you're not trans or something like that. Like, they were making it out like the only reason, like, I got deleted because I was making fun of a trans person. And then I responded to them and I was like, dude, shut up, basically. Like that's, I said something like, or maybe it was the gratuitous gore in my video. Like technically I did break the rules by sharing that, but it wasn't me initially sharing it. It was this trans individual. And I was like, dude, that doesn't even make sense. I'm sure that the post got deleted from her account as well. And then I looked, and fuck, still up to this day. And we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it right here. So I got deleted for calling for gratuitous gore, but this individual doesn't get deleted, and like Twitter could have seen who I was taking the video from. It was just sharing her video, but it's still there. So we're gonna watch it together, I suppose. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, whoever. Here's this.
Sarah Ashton Cirillo. I'm in Kyiv, Ukraine. October 10th, 2022. Russian terrorism at its worst. A Ukrainian civilian dead in the center of the street as the first responders working to put out the rest of the flames. Sarah Ashton Cirillo, Kyiv, Ukraine. October 10th, 2022. Sarah.
Really, I mean, the whole thing is just, hey, look how bad this is. It's true. That is bad. And there are some people who are saying this is fake. I don't necessarily believe it's fake, dude, but it might be. I mean, either way, it is propaganda more than it is reporting, in my opinion, because that's the only reason to really show it that explicitly while it is currently happening. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't really care that much. I was just like, this seems weird, and then I got deleted. Hers didn't get deleted, so it's. I don't want to say trans privilege, but I did. Go back and I reshared it. And this time I said, nothing seems off about this. And that one is still up. So Twitter, I can only assume that Twitter assumed that I was meaning that I was making direct fun of the individual, which I was not. I mean, if you took it that way, then so be it. But my biggest issue was that something seems off about this. And so I posted it as instead a statement of nothing seems off about this. And underneath that I put, or this, which is my old post that said something seems off. So I don't know. Take that however you want. I don't know if that's evidence of anything other than, I don't know, some sort of favoritism of some kind, because they called it gratuitous gore, but it's still up on her page, and now it's still up on my page. It has been for over, I think, over 24 hours now. Reposted, and they're fine with it. So I don't know, but I don't know. Like, people do try to make claims about trans privilege in some areas of life like this, but that it doesn't like always work, because according to thepostmillennial.com, so you know it's legit, Biden admin requires trans women to register for draft if they were born male. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. For all the words, all the happy flowery words, you know, you wonder why they were trying to convince you all to join the military over the last couple years. Maybe it was because they knew that they would need even you in the military. And when the rubber meets the road, their diversity and inclusion means diversity and inclusion in slavery for the war machine. So, I don't know if you feel used in this. You should, since they don't know how to define the word, and they're all about you and your individual. Your gender rights and all those things, and protecting your pronouns and stuff like that. They use it when it's very convenient, but when the rubber meets the road and we got some brown people to go bomb, they will happily take you. Not only are they happy to take you, you don't get a choice, most likely. And I did post after this on Twitter. I posted that it's disgusting, and trans women absolutely should not have to sign up for the draft, because nobody should have to sign up for the draft. Obviously. Duh. Of course nobody should have to sign up for the draft. That's slavery. I know. Our military might fall to pieces, and we might not be the world empire that we are right now. If people aren't forced into killing others, then we might lose our status in the global society. We can't have that. I disagree. I think your individual life is worth more than the sovereignty of of a blood-soaked empire. Personally, I like this country. All in all, I like a lot of things about this country. I'm not a big fan of the blood soaking and, the calling for Holocaust and the apocalypse, the annihilation of humanity. I don't like that. It rubs me the wrong way. And just know the draft is here. It's coming. Maybe it's not quite here, but it's coming. The thing that we all thought like 2 years ago under who knows whose administration. I'm not saying Trump was great, but he de-escalated some more stuff. We definitely weren't in the place that we are now under Donald Trump, at least. And I like Donald Trump left us in wars, Yemen, whatever, Syria, all the stuff. Donald Trump was bad on war, and also better than all the rest. Okay. We definitely weren't in this situation back then. But we definitely weren't talking about, hey, when the draft's coming down the pike at that point, but here we are. In my entire lifetime, I have never had like a serious conversation or heard really a serious conversation about the draft coming back, even through, was there a draft even during 9/11? There wasn't, was there? No, I don't think there was. During the Afghanistan war, the early years, I don't think there was. But now that Ukraine is being bombed by Russia, you'll notice that neither of those countries are named the United States of America, but because Ukraine is being bombed by Russia, we have to have a draft. And sorry, trans folks, no matter how beautiful you are, you still have to go sign up. Because when the rubber meets the road, they don't give a shit about you. You are cannon fodder for them. You will die for them, and they will force you to. Not just trans people, though. Don't worry. We're getting complete equity and inclusion here. We are all allowed to be cannon fodder in their system, in their machine. Don't worry. Because look at this. Look at this happy, smiling father and son, people of color. Just lovely, lovely, lovely picture there from the Selective Service System. It is interesting that they chose SSS as their, whatever. They go by it, too. SSS.gov is their website. We are literally the SS plus. We even got an extra S in there. Yeah. So this is from Selective Service. Their Twitter account. Parents, if your son is an only son and the last male in your family to carry the family name, he is still required to register with the SSS. Learn more about who needs to register at sss.gov. I don't think they've said anything about, officially saying that we're going to strike up the draft, but when the Selective Service is putting out things saying, if you're the last of your lineage, we love you. I mean, look at this happy picture of two men of color, father-son bond, all that happy stuff. But if you are the last in your lineage, we just wanted you to know, give you a heads up. We don't care. You're going to die, and you're going to die for us whenever we say, because we own you. And it's interesting, how our country has demonized the idea of draft dodging. You're weak. You're pathetic. You're not a patriot. You don't care about your country. Maybe I care about myself more than this unified collection of monsters. Maybe I care about self-preservation more than I care about elite people who want to murder for profit, who won't go to war themselves. They'll just send you. Maybe I'm not into that. Does that make you a coward? Guess. Yeah. Cowardly. Cowardly to not die for nothing. 9/11. Afghanistan war, allegedly, is what came out of that. 20 years in Afghanistan, and then we got out, and the Taliban immediately took over. and we lost billions and billions of dollars and lives and everything. Just an abomination for 20 fucking years, and we left with nothing. Even from a warmonger standpoint, abysmal failure. 20 years. But you're a draft dodger. You're weak if you didn't want to die, or you didn't want to risk your life or lose your life killing people for some rich man's game. Good on you, draft dodgers, because fuck these people. Fuck them, fuck their game. Dodge that draft. If there was a way to get out, if being trans got you out of the draft, I would support you all day long. Trans away. I'm down. I would do the same. I'll make questionable decisions.